I secretly saved money for my dead daughter's kids and caused a huge family fight when their dad found out. My daughter Emma died in a car accident when her kids were just 8 and 10 years old. She was only 28 and didn't have much money to leave them, just a small trust fund with maybe $15,000 total. My husband and I were heartbroken, but we knew we had to step up for our grandchildren. About a year after Emma died, her husband Mike remarried this woman named Jessica, who had 2 kids of her own from a previous marriage. Suddenly, our grandchildren went from being the only kids to being part of this big, blended family with 4 children total. Mike seemed happy, and the kids were adjusting okay, but my husband and I started noticing things. Like when Christmas came around, all 4 kids got similar gifts even though Mike's budget was tight. Or when they went on family vacations, our grandchildren had to share rooms with their step-siblings instead of having their own space like they used to. That's when we decided to start secretly saving money for Emma's kids. We put away $500 every month for each of them, plus we added money from selling some property we owned. Over 10 years, we managed to save about $180,000 for each child. We never told Mike about this money. We figured if he knew, he'd either expect us to split it between all 4 kids, or he might rely on it for everyday expenses instead of letting it grow for their futures. This money was specifically from Emma's parents for Emma's children. 2 years ago, our granddaughter Sarah turned 18 and graduated high school. We sat her down and explained about the money we'd saved. She was shocked and so grateful. She used it to pay for college without taking out any loans. We made her promise not to tell her dad because her younger brother still had 2 years left at home. This year, our grandson Jake graduated and turned 18. We gave him access to his money, and he decided to skip college and use it to start his own landscaping business. He was smart about it, put most of it in a high-yield savings account, and only used what he needed for equipment. The problem started when Jake was talking to Mike about his business plans. Mike asked how he could afford all this expensive equipment, and Jake accidentally mentioned the savings account. Mike pressed him for details, and Jake ended up telling him everything. Mike called us that same night, and he was not happy. He kept asking why we never told him about the money, and how he felt betrayed that we'd been keeping this secret for 10 years. He said if he'd known, he could have planned better for all the kids' futures. But the worst part was Jessica. She completely lost it when she found out. She called us screaming about how unfair it was that our grandchildren got all this money while her kids got nothing. She said we were playing favorites and creating inequality in their family. Mike said he understood the money was for Emma's kids, but he felt hurt that we didn't trust him enough to tell him about it. He thought we should have been upfront so he could make sure all the kids felt equally loved and supported. The fighting got so bad that Jake moved in with us because Jessica was making comments about how he didn't deserve the money and how spoiled Emma's kids were. Sarah stopped coming to family dinners because Jessica would make passive-aggressive remarks about college being easy when someone else pays for it. Mike keeps saying we should have told him from the beginning, but I think we did the right thing. This money came from selling Emma's childhood home and from years of us saving specifically for her children. It wasn't meant to be split between kids who aren't even related to our daughter. Now the whole family is divided, and Mike barely speaks to us anymore.